Brains. Yeah, Brains. Friday night. Well, we got Minnie down in FLA, Florida. But I don't know. He might talk. He might give his name out. Got bottled water. Probably looks a lot like my spit bottle. It's like Congress wants nothing to do with it. I don't know. We're just going to have fun. That's what we're going to do. We're absolutely going to have a blast. So anyway, again, where the hell does our bottle of water come from? What's in it? Who knows what's in it, right? Nevertheless, don't go nowhere, Berniac. Like this podcast, share this broadcast. Without you, it goes nowhere. Hang tight.
What do you say, Brainiacs? You guys ready? It's showtime, Brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Everybody, let's go! UFOlogy, conspiracy, controversy, and anything and everything that we can get into tonight. Let's go! Yeah, baby! Yeah! Yes. Yeah. It's definitely your show. Your show, and we appreciate you for being here. Buckle up, everybody. We're going to go over here to the Brain Chat as well. An anonymous NASA guy with us tonight. What's up, Anon? How are you down yonder in Florida?
But I noticed, we've just had this Miami event down here. More recently, it's like an ice bomb or start over water. And all these storms started like way inland. Yeah, it's just in Florida right now is the fact that no one's pointing out that Azov Nazis are openly protesting down here at places like Disney. Nobody cares. Over the world that know about this incident, but there are people that live here that don't know about that incident. And I think that's really strange. Like the fact that people are that disconnected, not only that they're still running around wearing masks like idiots, throwing TV on their face, but they actually don't know what's even happening. And so many people on cell phones in my life, and it just keeps getting worse. And I've never seen people so disconnected as they are right now from their own humanity. Kind of nuts.
Well, you touched on several topics in the statement that you that you started on. The disconnection. You got to remember, bro. You live in Florida. Us as drivers, tractor trailer drivers, dude. I try to avoid that state. Yet I like that state. The thing is, they're Q-tips, bro. You are in a state full of retirees. We call them Q-tips. It's in the water, bro. It's got to be in the water. Let's talk about that first. Let's get that out of the way. Can we do that? Can we talk about that first?
Yeah, no, I think you're starting at the right point because it's like the thing that's connecting us in the way that we don't want to be connected, creating this smart network by, basically what they're doing right now is really intelligent, and it starts in the sky because everything that starts in the sky gets in the water because the sky actually is the water. It's just the water you can't see because it's in vaporous form. Humanity, we're still, brine shrimp on the bottom of the ocean that can't even swim. We just can't see the ocean of air that we're surrounded by or any other creatures that fly around in it. But some of us can, and we've been a really smart thing in 2018 where they said, hey, in order to curb climate change, we're going to use taxpayer money to dim the fucking sun. And so they launched the Harvard Global Sun Dimming Project in January 9th, 2019. This is an easy to confirm fact. And within a year, you follow the money from the Harvard Global Sun Dimming Project, you'll find it's Gates Foundation and Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation was started by Epstein. I want to sow my DNA into nanotech so that it gets into every female on the planet, and they're making my babies for the rest of the time.
Right.
And he just happens to be the guy that's funding the Harvard Global Sun Dimming Project. Oh, imagine that. Raining down everything and blocking the...
You're hitting on massive ass topics. Check this out. What people don't know is when it comes to what's in the air, like you said, goes into the ground. It goes into the ground, goes into food, goes into all that shit, right? And here on the broadcast, we've uncovered it. Look, they absolutely know who is doing this, okay? The Department of Agriculture absolutely knows the plane that leaves the airports that is in the sky. I don't give a shit if you like got a phone identification thing on your phone app saying, you know, oh, well, what plane is that? It might not register there, but look, man, the Department of Agriculture knows every single plane that is in the sky that has left any kind of a municipal airport. You realize of course you probably know this, right? You know this, Anon.
They have a form on their webpage for random geoengineering projects. So people can just, basically submit their own projects. So it's not like it's a secret. Dubai openly admits changing their weather on the daily and warning about it the day before. What is a secret is why do we suddenly have a southern lights? And people aren't responding to this. We've had a northern borealis and aurora borealis. So in the process of dimming the sun, they're doing a lot of other shit that doesn't make any sense.
I'm listening to you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I got you. I got you. But there's a new southern borealis and lights, and it's...
All right, there we go. You should have no feedback now.
Okay. In 2014, NASA admitted that the northern lights are a giant gaping portal that open on the other side to the sun. And the magnetosphere is a serious problem, and it's followed by the severe weather patterns that we've seen happen around it, going through Australia. Now, the Biden administration is calling it solar radiation management, but it's on their White House page too, blocking the sun to reduce carbon emissions by killing everyone with them. Get it?
Bro, that's one thing.
A lot of these people, though, they're going to...
Our bodies require vitamin D, does it not?
Mitochondrial DNA. That's all there is to it.
Oh, man.
Our cells get weak. And then, because, you got to realize the human body is a very fragile thing. Your body basically replaces itself, for the most part, every month. Your skin, I think it's 6 months. Your organs, it's like a year or something. But every organ has like a different amount of time it takes to replace. Calories out. And, people have been reduced to a point where they're so subjugated that they're willing to just ignore the nanotech. They're willing going on. Because psychosomatic parasitosis has been around for decades. Actually centuries, maybe even millennia as a concept. But the fact is, we know for a fact worms crawling through your body. So our entire way of looking at things has been so distorted for so long that, right is left, up is down, white is black. The gray, it doesn't exist all of a sudden. We can't live in reality. Right. We have to be polarized. But so I'd like to get on to the topics that you wanted to talk about, which is, the UAP'S and stuff. I don't know about this Miami incident. I haven't really looked into it too much. I watched the video. I kind of think it's Project Bluebeam. A lot of the smarter people I know think it's Project Bluebeam. It looks like a test run, especially given the timing. But what they're not talking about on the news is the non-human intelligences that they're talking about in Congress, though. They're having congressional hearings about these things. Mm-hmm. And when these high-level advisors for Space Force are questioned about non-human intelligence and their potential threat and danger to humanity, you got to watch this for yourself. They shirk the fucking question. He dodges it. He's like, well, we know these are dimensional entities, but he dodges the question when it becomes direct and be funding Space Force for $50 billion a year to fucking fight them. Right. I just think it's weird that they, are fighting them when, these things seem to be also running the show. It's just the strangest thing. But, the fact is that, what is the fact that they usually dealt with these spiritual parasites and either fought them and lost or fought them and won. But they're all drawn to the light side after that, because the resentment of being possessed or attacked by something you can't see, and the fear of those you love and care about being attacked by something into society. Because, who wants to be welcomed into a society if it's mostly possessed, But yeah, so, and the fact that these things directly correlate to the funding of Space Force is something people should really think about.
To get back to you, I've got to share your audio, so I don't want to have feedback, but you're gonna have feedback for a second, okay? The meetings, right? We all know that Congress is doing this, but what I'm about to share with you, Anon, you know that because I'm gonna try to blast this out, right? And again, knowing your background coming from NASA contracting, blah 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 blah. And knowing what you know, knowing what you share, dude, this shit is not new to you at all. So this is just for one incident. So hang on a second, bro. Let me.
News Nation has been all over it. First, journalist Jeremy Corbell released this now infamous video of the so-called jellyfish UFO. The committee received a classified briefing on UFOs. We don't know the specifics of what was discussed because it's classified.
Now, you can hear that, right? You have no problem hearing that?
Yep.
All right.
No problem.
Why lawmakers meet for a closed-door UFO hearing?
I haven't looked into this at all, but the timing seems really strange.
You think?
Look, if I was any foreign nation right now overseas that's basically rallying against the prophetic fucking monsters known as Israel, I would bust out all threats right now. I'm so stressed out. I mean, we have a real life Holocaust going on right in front of us right now on all of our taxpayer dime. Hear it when other people suffer. But the fact is, when humans suffer, every human like that human suffers. And we are all so much like each other and all connected on such a level that you can feel something for someone you've met 5,000 miles away. And not feel anything for the people within 10 feet. Empathic talents and gifts. What I have found is a lot of it is just proximity, but blood type all travel over distances. The wavelength and frequency between a mother and child is easily measured, as is the wavelength and frequency between twins, because they both exist at the same wavelength and frequency. And that's the thing. Destabilization, the whole concept of reverse ionization or destabilization, is matching harmonic frequencies to cancel each other out. That's a very simple scientific concept. It's just like cracking glass by playing the music too loud or at the wrong pitch, or the exact right pitch or the right tone, even in a voice, can crack specific pieces of glass.
Sure.
Or at least make them shake and vibrate. Same thing with harmonic frequencies with humans. That's why we're drawn to music. They match heartbeats. Heartbeats are harmonic frequencies, and that is what pumps causes the brain to work so that it pumps the blood vessel that in turn runs the heart. And it's so embedded in our society, but we don't even realize that our society is built on music. Like fluff. Fucking fluff.
You're right.
And then we wonder why everyone feels so fucking fluffy and fake.
All right, let me finish. Let me finish this, bro, because I want to go over this. This is really interesting. Again, the laws that run the show, right? That we put. Remember, we put these people. We put them where they are, right? Closed door meeting. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Listen. Listen.
Grush made first here on News Nation and then later at a congressional hearing. Grush made the bombshell claims that the government has a top-secret UFO program to reverse engineer UFO's Republican representative from Tennessee, Tim Burchett. News Nation spoke with him on the steps of the Capitol moments after he emerged from that briefing. Congressman Burchett says he's not done pushing for information on UFOs, where they come from, and what the Pentagon knows about them.
Uh-oh.
I still think we need to ask some questions, and we need to know some answers. Dadgummit, it's just going on too long that we have, as I was told, I have kicked a hornet's nest at the Pentagon.
All right, so here is this just fluff? I've kicked the hornet's nest at the Pentagon. Believe it. I want to call bullshit on it, primarily because we already have been lied to all my life, the hard red pill for me was everything I thought I once knew as truth was a complete lie. Okay, so I'm serious, dude. I became really, really, really pissed from knowing that my religion, dude. Whenever I dropped my religion, my belief, but digging into that, dude, that was a lie too. What is not? We want something we're not lied to about.
Okay.
I'll get this.
So there are very basic laws, but what you are constantly lied to about is your own value. I don't really. It's hard for me to say what people are not lied to about, because the whole art of the deception, the art of the Hasbara, is to tell half truths. It's to tell enough of the truth to convince people, and then the other half of your effort is your sale, which is all, snake oil or morphine or whatever your, sales pitch is. The one quote from Princess Bride, life is pain. Anybody that tells you different is selling something. But ultimately, 82% of them are in place because of Israel's lobbying directly. And I know there were, I think, 206 different former CIA agents or groomed, spook individuals that applied for Democratic running positions just this last election cycle. And a lot of them won. Right. So ultimately what it is a huge corporation in the form of a cult. But it's more dangerous because it's a corporate. You treat your customer well, but not to feel anything for them because they're your customer, not your friend. And ultimately for government, their customer is the public when it's supposed to be the opposite way. I really don't know. I mean, the things about inner Earth and whatnot, I think that's true. I've encountered higher and lower humanoid intelligences. I've encountered different types of humanoids in my time. I've encountered dimensional entities. And my problem at night is because I started having these massive migraines, and once I started sorting them out in my young age without knowing what a pineal gland is, just by following the sensations and whatnot, because otherwise I was going to go crazy. I thought this was, and they were grooming me to be a pastor, and instead I got groomed to be a contractor, but it's all the same cult at the end of the day. I stopped going to church because we found out there was a fucking sex trafficker at school that got kidnapped in the process. And the last one, I'll never forget his face. Since that happened, I decided that, those are the worst. These are the soul-shattering moments that people can't really understand. And so I don't really respond to them as drastically as other people because I've had got shot. I was 14. He got shot 35 miles away, and I literally felt the impact. And I went through the process of his death in front of my entire class in society. So it changes the whole way you look at people. You don't want to feel anything anymore. But I think that's one of the problems with our society is there are metaphysically charged human beings running around. And in the society that breeds sociopaths, that creates a lot of psychic vampires. And these psychic vampires then are drawn to the cult. They are well-groomed. They are well-treated, groom, and they end up becoming people like Elon Musk, people like Donald Trump. People like even Joe Biden. All of our leaders are these groomed individuals that showed promise. You can't trust a single motherfucker because if they're in office at this point, they're probably down with the cult. Everyone that speaks out gets voted out of office or pushed out. Anyone that won't sign loyalty to Israel now gets booted. That's the way it works. You can't trust any of them. But listen, dun, 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 dun. Normally process the information versus yelling at them so they're more likely to do what you want them to do at a faster rate.
Bro, here we just play rock music.
Realizing we do.
Do you hear me? I said, here we just play rock music.
What? Yeah, and play music. But no, these motherfuckers are going to lie on Capitol Hill. And I think in a comparative basis, we know there's dimensional entities. So what the fuck's the big deal about UFOs? I mean, people should just tell the truth about it, but they won't because ultimately the government thinks they're just going to use it for themselves, They think like businessmen. They don't think like leaders. They think like, okay, what can I get out of this and how fat am I going to be able to? The people finally rise up and we can shut the lids just in time to stop the torches and pitchforks. That is how these people think. So if they were really trying to get down to the bottom of it, they'd be exposing things, they'd be blowing whistles, and they have access to this paperwork. If they're not talking, it's because they don't want to, because they're down with the dream or they're down with the cult, or they've contributed so much that does. It's all about controlling the narrative, and it's all about making sure that the promising kids who got misplaced kids a lot in the main education office. I don't know if you know this, but they would go out to reservations and find the smartest Native American kids. And because Native Americans represent an almost lost bloodline that has very powerful connections to dimensional entities, and NASA only enclosed documents. But if you look it up, NASA talks all about portals all around our world, all these invisible things that we can't see made of antimatter, that reality, life, and each other. Our connections with each other and with these higher and lower realms would immediately change. And witness to what you are doing. There is always intelligence everywhere, paying attention to everything you are doing. And that's just one of the harsh realities. You have to make sure that you're trying to get out of that shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think all these congressional testimonies are bullshit, except the ones about the non-human intelligences, because those are the ones where they really shirk the questions. They don't give direct answers. It's easy to see that they're trying to hide something about the nature of these creatures, and the times through the neighborhoods. Like, what are these things? They obviously exist at a different frame of time. What effect are they having on our society? I've reverse engineered. Because in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, I personally witnessed what I think was an absolute United States, impossible ways, and I've seen all kinds of planes do all kinds of things. I've never seen anything do this. It was huge, and it was at least 1.5 miles above, and it was just right there, chilling. It made itself known. I mean, it was pretty obvious that, it was U.S. military, even though it lit up the entire night sky 3 times. Yeah, I mean, they have UFOs, so they're definitely an interesting monolithic area, almost all underwater, but the Dragon's Triangle of Japan has the same rules as the Bermuda Triangle. Things go missing there all the time and then reappear years later in different conditions or in, the same condition they were lost in. People just don't talk about that. And there's a site there that looks, I think there's a few spaceships lost on planet Earth already, and they're just digging them up.
I want to share something again. This goes into like eyewitness Congress that was submitted to the UFO phenomena type. The what do they call it? The congressional hearing, things like that list. So check this out. This is from the Hill. This is not ours, so I'm just saying that now. But just hearing this come out, listen closely here, because this is interesting.
All right, welcome back here to the Hill. So, unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP'S, they are a hot topic, as you might know, on Capitol Hill. But really, it's nothing new. Consider this headline from the New York Daily News in 1952. Jets chase D.C. sky ghosts as air traffic controllers at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport here across the river spotted 7 unidentified flying objects in the sky. Here we are 72 years later. See, surrounding UAPs, they've really been doing it for a while. But the latest move happened with a closed-door classified briefing up on Capitol Hill. Republican Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett, one of the top lawmakers behind closed doors. Watch.
So you just came from the briefing. Were you satisfied at what you heard? I know you.
No, my biggest thing all along, it's tens of millions, if not billions of dollars that we know of, and yet the federal government keeps telling Congress they don't exist, and yet obviously they're investigating something.
So you think?
And then when I have an admiral tell me they're real, when I have some of the top pilots in the world say they're real, I don't see why American taxpayers can't get that information.
So you think?
Did you not get a damn straight answer? Dude.
It's because if people knew the truth, it would destroy religion. It would absolutely destroy religion. And they rely on religion to, placate the people. So they do things like worship around cubes of Saturn and generate energy. for psychic vampire, especially in female form. The way they manipulate their pheromones to control men and their persuasion, it's highly toxic and highly dangerous. And these people are highly dangerous. And I've met these vipers, some of them in my family, people. And it's just based on genetics. It's very simple science. The lizard descendants and the venom some people exude. The chameleon traits, the ability to blend in. The aliens are archaic technology. The aliens could literally walking right next to us with holographic technology, reversing all the light around them, or invisibility cloaks. You can walk around with an
is what Jeremy Corbell is trying to say. Okay? Jeremy Corbell is trying to get, I guess, Billy Carson. Okay? These guys are trying, and I don't even like one of them. I don't know. I'm up in the air. Okay? But nevertheless, they're trying. I try my own self to talk about it all the time. We're not alone. We're not alone. Show me. Show the videos. Tell everybody. Send your video in, right? Whatever's going on. This show goes nowhere, bro. Okay? Mainstream makes damn sure that we go nowhere. Okay? But nevertheless, I do got to give those two people credit. They're trying. They're trying very hard to get what we are saying out there, because you and me, chicken feed, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, for me, it's a little different because I owe anyone listening to this podcast conscious and kind of shoot the shit. So that's nice for me. And if your listeners enjoy it, I really appreciate it. Ultimately, I think the point really is that we know we've been lied to. We know there's at least 3 human species all intermingled. And we also know telling us this, it's a secret hidden in plain sight. And they're choosing to instead try to biomodify everything with what they think is in accordance with what we should be. Now, that last clip, I believe it was from The Hill.
It was.
And I just watched that same Robbie from The Hill. He was trying to defend Zionism and genocide. And just repeat deep state talking points. The Hill has really fallen on its credibility. And I want to point that out because I've personally seen him. I thought he had some respect when he first started, but I've seen him recently defend the cult and defend the modern genocide, helping history repeat itself one more time, except a little ahead, because Hitler wasn't. I think fucking Netanyahu's probably going to be Times Man of the Year next if he doesn't get himself shot. It's just such a disgusting cycle right now. The fact that, people who think they're spiritually enlightened or somehow spiritual are, adjusting genocide and pretending to ignore the empathic backlash and honestly burden. Because I believe one of the things that happens when someone dies is that it's invisible, but it has a power. You end up over time manifesting their traits, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, I'm acting just like my mom / dad. Well, that's same shit, and it's contagious. In my family, we have learned that if we share too much time, especially relationship time, our abilities can transfer. My cousin, and this is how different people are from each other, and that's what we should understand as a society. Ancient civilization, we might actually be able to save ourselves, because there's some piece of technology down there that could probably fight off the Nibiru cycle. And we're ending up in all these solar storms. Have you seen the sun recently? Dude, it looks like somebody committed
coronal mass ejections happening. Our ionosphere is being ripped apart. Oh yeah, dude, I've seen it. I've definitely seen it.
And graphics. You should try to overlay the pictures of the sun as it is right now with the black sun emblem to show people just how obvious it is that Kabbalism is behind all of this shit right now. That would really help people a lot.
You talk about an actual like a transparent merge into in and out. We could do that. You get me the image. You get me the images that you want me to do that with, and I'll make the black sun emblem, right? Logo. I want people thinking that we, with what you just said, I don't want people thinking that out of this studio that we edit video. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this place here I do not do CGI. I do not edit or tamper with any kinds of the shit that you guys send me in email. Just giving that out there now. Okay, so what he just said, we'll do. I'll do that, but I'm wanting you to know, right here, we are broadcasting from my back fucking porch. Okay, so nothing coming out of here is think shit that isn't real. Just wanted to throw that out there as a discrepancy. Yeah. I think it's a good idea, bro.
No, I wouldn't want to persuade anyone, but yeah, no, I know. Back to the point, like, I don't know how exactly they're damaging the sun right now, but it's causing all this freak crazy weather. The Nibiru cycle is kind of high, so there's a lot of things causing the traffic increase. But we're 128 dimensional fibers in our own brains, which means there's at least 128 dimensional layers all around us. You couldn't have created that kind of harmonic frequency in motion. Is in motion. That's the whole thing of reality. Particles are empty, and most people are too.
All right, I got a question. Matrix of stuff, right? The Galactic Federation of Light. What is it that, do you know how many times I've heard Galactic Federation? Real or not real? What does NASA know about Galactic Federation? Anything?
They've never mentioned anything like that and mind control. I met Julius Dash, was old enough to have been working for the Nazis at the age of 26. He was a respected geologist to human life, much less of our planet. He had also been to the Yucatan impact crater, and some of those rocks had come from there. So he made it very clear to me, even before I knew there was space weed. There's weed in space. There's another reason for space knowledge. But no, he made it very clear to me that genetically engineering new humans right now.
I believe
this is another thing they're trying to distract you from. They're making chimeras. Like, if Robbie's talking, lords are not making pig humans to not take over.
Right.
I guarantee you that. They're not just making things that cost billions of dollars to make. Each of these little chimp humans, worm humans, sheep humans, pig humans, which are fucking or question. How many billions of dollars have been spent crossbreeding humans with different animals, and how many different animals have they sacrificed in the process? Now, even if it's the way we were created, it's cruel, unusual, and inhumane in the way we do it now, and I can't consent. So this is real conspiracy theory. Blood drinking isn't a secret anymore. Now they talk about it on the cover of Fortune magazine, and they've managed to sneak all this stuff right into the public view and make it famous because billionaires are doing it after they created 108 billionaires by dimming the sun and change their program names. They do not change their any of these motherfuckers on Capitol Hill. Don't trust what's on told opposition, not trying to unite people. There's only the transhumanist U.S. party, okay, and no one else. No one who isn't a transhumanist gets to play anymore because they're the exact same thing.
Damn, bro, you just told me how to save this broadcast. So you're telling me all we got to do is start pushing transhumanism, and we'll like sporadically just get funded? Huh?
No, but if you expose the fact that transhumanism is a political party in the United States, and just don't let up of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and you can look it up on their cryogenics experiments without stem cells. You can't bring people back from the dead without stem cells.
Right.
So that means that they directly feed abortion to them, which leads in excessive abortions, and it's a hypersexualized society that doesn't feel anything. And all of a sudden, they've got all the feed they can get by exposing things like blood drinking clinics in America, by exposing the fact that Epstein is a transhumanist party member, by it lists their intention to biomodify every living human and every living thing on planet Earth to what they want it to be. Now, do you want Klaus Schwab biomodifying you to what you think he thinks you should look like?
Well, no.
Does anyone consent to that? Would you break it down to that very visceral level? Do you want this motherfucker telling you how you should look and act and who you should be with? Do you think he's any judge for who you should be? You know? Is Bill Gates, Yuval Noah Harari, Zoltan Istvan, or freaking Klaus Schwab any judge of what a human being should measure themselves as? I think not.
I've got there's so much on this table. Dude, there is so much shit coming at me right now. I've got people sending me we are shifting timelines. CERN is involved in this, blah, 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 blah. I've seen videos. What the to believe, bro? And a lot of us do not, okay? So let's shifting gears for a second.
These guys aren't lying. Yeah.
Well, that's obvious. There, Mr. K Starseed. We just was talking earlier off air about the anomalies of the sky itself. Like I've seen it happen my own self without thunder, not a cloud in the sky. Just it almost seemed as if it would backlit, flash, flash, flash. That is just one. My question to you, Mr. NASA Anon, is what is the connection between NASA contractors and CERN, or CERN and NASA? Is there any communication there at all? Anything?
Not that I was aware of. I wasn't in 1991 under Tennessee because I'd read about it when I was 12 when it was being done. I thought it was so cool. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, if we're going through a timeline shift, it's not the first one. People have gone through this, Mandela effects. It's pretty common for people. It's just, if it's your first Earth, you're not going to believe it. And you might not believe it if it's your second Earth either. But once you've gone through enough, like, destructive, dimensional, anyway, back to reality.
It wasn't real. Back to reality, you smartass.
The grooming, the grooming systems, but I could only deflect. But what you were saying about the flashing lights, now it's pretty well documented that you can create a UAP with a reverse ionization, destabilization, direct energy weapon laser. It can be done with Athena weapon systems, U-beam weapon systems, laser strike weapon systems, because what you're seeing is a directed laser burning a hole in the clouds. And what you're seeing is the clouds, the energy being destabilized and that energy exploding outwards in a direct straight. I think this is what the ancients were talking about when they talked about those times, because that's exactly what they look like. When you see a laser cutting through a cloud, sometimes it stops and it looks like an arrow in waves. So you can easily distinguish in the sky where the laser has actually burned and sometimes singed it. Sometimes this manifests as black chemtrails, which I have personally been fast when that happens. And there's plenty of footage of that happening out there. If your viewers want to look that up as well. Sun is their cult believes that they can weaken humanity enough they can fully enslave it again, because they did a pretty good job with the Crusades. Those things will live on in the memories of our knots. We do not consent. So your past lives, they absolutely are, because dreams are reality. When you are in that state, you are multidimensionally awakened because your multidimensional brain is activated. And that is too, there are parasites and predators, and you better bring dreams, because everything that's been in science fiction is manifesting as reality now. It was all invented at one point in time already. So, you know, if we can fucking ignore the bullshit and the hologram test, that was a pretty simple holographic image compared to what the Koreans are doing. You know, and focus on actually connecting to each other again, because the zombie apocalypse is here, man. And what people aren't asking, that's really civilization.
Oh, yeah.
But what's happening right now that they're ignoring is a massive surge in death. What if the spikes don't stop growing after death?
Back up. Did I just hear you say, what if the spikes don't stop growing after the body is deceased? I don't even remotely know what to think about that question. I guess you would talk about The Walking Dead. I mean, you're talking about
Nostradamus' last prediction.
Bro, you're talking about Lazarus 2.0. I'm just saying, dude.
I'm talking about universal soldier shit, man. It's no more complex than that. The Resident Evil, it's not that complex, but nobody's thinking about it. And I have a pretty expansive mind. I've watched a lot of horror movies. You know,
right?
I'm pretty big on cosmic horror, but that's one that chilled me to my core when my brain actually posed it to me. So it's only going to take one or two, but this is the thing no one's focusing on. I lived with Morgellons for about 15 years, and it's not a picnic. It's a horror fest at times. And these spikes are something more advanced than it's only going to take one or two at that level. But these are the questions they're not talking about on Congress. They're not talking about because they actually made this happen. Contaminated with spikes a couple of times from people who got vaccinated, and it resulted in massive infections. It's not fun. Proximity to vaccinated people in their jobs.
You know that word will definitely get the platform like censored and banned. Like, I'm just saying, bro. We went through 5 YouTube channels last year.
Let me just make it clear then. I'm just speaking according to the Pfizer documents themselves, which openly say that they knew fully well that the spike protein could spread on physical contact, and it's on their website right now. So if YouTube attempts to deplatform, that's the truth.
Oh, dude,
I'm sorry.
They will.
That's one of the things I hate about YouTube. I didn't realize we were there. I really didn't. But they're ultimately a transhumanist-driven platform, and that's why Rumble's taken over. Like, I see it happening. Rockfin had a really good run and helped expose a lot of truth. I don't know if The Last American Vagabond do a great job in journalists, and she's exposed so much about Epstein and transhumanist networks. She's really someone to be supported because she's a firecracker.
Hang on a minute, ready? Mr. Christopher People says, "Hey, Anon, is black goo related to this spike protein that you know of?"
Okay, Christopher Bieber, I want you to look up the graphene machines that can, and you might have your answer on looking. These things are composed of something very similar looking to black goo, and just their, from what I've seen, this is just videos I've seen, but the colonoscopies of the deceased who have been, they show graphene balls that have literal spikes coming out of them, like mini Mesa. The videos of how did its genetic modifications disappeared when was first implemented. Things are very dangerous. They can slide through muscle tissue, and from what I saw, they can exert about 60 pounds of force in 6 different random directions at once. You want to see a really scary one? Look up the E. coli nanobots made by the nation of Spain. It looks like a Terminator got it on with the Legion of Doom headquarters and had a baby.
What kills me is this would be not only a transhumanistic agenda.
Transhumanism is the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is the global transhumanist political party. People just don't understand. This is the political party that runs Israel and runs all the elections in America. Because even the time necessary for transhumanism. You think Dick Cheney just randomly found 8 heart replacements before he got his fucking permanent metal heart?
Right?
No, that doesn't happen. What about the 8 people that got passed?
We're getting told that the video is getting censored like a motherfucker. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to go and drop an alternative link in the chat. There are multiple links. Okay, you're going to see a YouTube link, and as well as an uncensored private server link. Okay, so you can go to either one of those. MatrixMinds.live. That is the private server link, or you can go ahead and run over to YouTube. Again, the Matrix has always been censored. What? What'd you say, bro?
For me, I'm repaying a karmic debt, so I can't really do enough for your listeners or viewers because I owe everybody a little something, you know.
This is not my show. This is not mine. This is ours. Okay, you got a mouth. You too. This is your. It's because we let you have the platform because it's your platform. So if you can help us, help us.
You mean you practice freedom of speech?
Right? No, of course. Well, of course, dude. For you, Matthew. I don't know what to say, dude. I mean, I used to get along with quite a few people. But
since we're on the topic, because I hate everything transhumanism, because I hate everything necromancy, except, Diablo. It's a pretty badass game. But at the same time, I know how those things kind of condition you to be a little colder. Attack, attack, attack all the time. Attack with everything all the time. Show no mercy. Get through it as fast as you can. It's that psychotic nature that kind of has made us all a little too sharp with each other. But at the same time, you know, these people, you can call them what they are. You can call them necros, which in my opinion are the genetic property of every woman that donates them. And if women are giving over their stem cells for advanced transhumanist experiments to let billionaires and millionaires live longer forever, they should be paid for that. They should be able to consent to that biological property. Then they should be compensated. And, you know, we can fund, you know, a genocide in Israel, but we can't fund a program like this. No, it's just because they don't want to. They don't want women to know their worth, their own sacral nature. The same way if we understood our blood types and our blood type differences, we would all be more discreet in who we actually get it on with. If we know that we're actually going to reduce miscarriages, that would reduce toxic relationships, that would reduce societal strife. So any percentage would be good right now because everyone's tearing each other apart from what I see out there. It's like, it's just so unfortunate. Yeah, I'm pontificating Twitch. Anyways, I'm kind of high.
You can
What?
be like what Larry has. Larry. No, dude.
Yeah.
This is you. This is you. I'm glad that you wanted to participate. Smoke weed every day. That's it. Smoke weed every day.
I do, but that's only because I can't get easy access to the ointments. The 8 ointments, which are legal everywhere. Those will cure them. If you have torn ligaments or torn muscles, THC ointments will heal them where no other thing will. They also accelerate the healing of broken bones by 30%, and it's one of the few things that can actually heal muscle tissue because one of the biggest things that happen, you have a serious injury. But if you can heal that with THC ointment in advance, I've actually personally helped someone reattach their ACL with a couple weekly applications of THC ointment over a 6-week period. It saved them a $32,000 surgery. You can reverse, time was 37, it took 45.
Funny. I think they just killed him. Okay. I do believe that's what just happened. I'm checking my headset. So, yeah, I think he just got blown off of the platform. Here's what's going on. I just had to pin the alternate. Not doing this for a reason. I'm just saying if it's just spinning, you know, doesn't even remotely know that they disconnected him. That's just my guess. I know him. And the last time he to a channel or a billions bottling tap water as residents to keep bottling in Detroit. You guys heard about this, right? People's no, they were literally refusing to pay. People were refusing to pay for their talk. Why would you, right? But yet, I'm going to drop that link that I just shared in that chat right there, okay? And the reason why is because it's pretty significant that what's good for them is not good for you and I. Meaning, you know, they get away with pretty much everything. So, coming at you. The link is coming at you. How Pepsi and Coke gets away with it while uncollected water consumers get their shit shut off. Completely illegal. What do we do? Do paying the water bill? Get their water shut off? What do you do? In fact, you know, again, this is almost as bad as my spit bottle, right? Yuck. That was a topic. And again, all of the chemtrails, obviously, it goes to our natural resource, which is polluted. From there, it goes to where? It goes to the water treatment facility. We also all know that there is a shit ton of chemicals dumped into our water there. So it's like a never-ending cycle of bullshit that we're all up against. The phenomena about, you know, UAP'S, is it just a distraction? Is it just a distraction? Who knows, man? I truly don't know. I can give you my my thoughts. I can definitely make this bigger. And it says okay, my question was just primarily going to a search engine, bottled water problem, right? Instant summarization. Contaminated bottled water can have negative effects on the health, including gastrointestinal illness up in the body over time. Now, the plastic water bottle industry is booming. With more than 1 million bottles sold, the global sales is by 2030. That was not me that said that. Not me at all that said that. It was the Internet of Things, as Larry'd say. If it's on the internet, it must be true. Not quite sure as to what to say. I'm serious. That is a lot of plastic. It's a lot of plastic. And I just released, I get pretty much obliterated right now. At like up frames at 60%, drop frames 83%. At an hour, a topic that really needs to be talked about more. It is a topic that we should. What do we do about it? What the hell do we do about it? Something's got to be done. No doubt about it. Something has got to be done. Right here. Let me just for the fact checkers that come at us all, coming at you to where you can literally anything you share from the broadcast here. I want to back it up with, well, well, the CDC didn't say blah blah blah. No, the CDC did say right here. Okay, right here it is. Okay, commercially bottled water, April 19th of 2023. Let me make this a little. So the CDC released commercially bottled water. Did you see this? Contaminated bottled water. Okay, can harm your health, including and causing, right? The same shit. So I'm going to go right there. Commercially bottled water. You want this link? I'm going to give it to you. Ready? So it's coming at you right now. Look at the chat, Brainiacs. It's coming. Americans spends billions every year. I say water softeners as a substitute for other beverages. Or because, what? Perceived health benefits. Well, truly, body isn't lying to you. Okay? I know that right now. Your body is not lying to you. So knowing that our bodies are telling us what is not good for us. By the way, get out of here, little fella. There again, it's simplistically saying, listen to your gut. Listen to your gut instinct. I'm not a doctor. I nowhere by any means can tell you what is and what is not good for your health. Okay, your gut. Let that in a little bit. Let that sink in. Without a doubt, the problem is right in front of our faces, but you can afford to. I know right now, if I said to try to even look at a water filtration system, my jaw would probably drop, right? And what burns my ass is you've got massive ass corporations make us sick. It's an industry. It's like we know this, we feel this, we see it. I'm going with the flow. It's definitely time to go against the grain, per se. Many multiple sources. This is our last chance here as a human being. So we're either going to survive or we're not going to survive. I don't want to. I definitely don't want to be substantially fighting off a zombie like later in life that Matthew Jr. is going to have to again come up against a zombie apocalypse. I mean, think about that. Think about what he just said. He said earlier, the spike protein. Okay, we all know air quotes here. What if it continues to live on in the body and just feed on the host, even though the host is dead? Who knows, man? Who knows? The shit is just at this point in my life and in the matrix of things, I ain't putting anything past anybody or anything. You can feel it in your bones. You can definitely feel it in your bones. How many of you guys feel like an expectation of something is like an anxiety per se, right? We all feel like an anxiety happening, and it's like it's trying to, yeah, it's like it's either kill or be killed type feeling, right? It's like an anxious feeling. Y'all ain't alone. I'm telling you right now, you're not alone. I feel it. The majority of my friends feel it. My kid feels it. Not sure what to do about it. Many topics covered, and we can talk about this shit until the moon falls out of the sky. God forbid, Chicken Little. Anyway, welcome to the Matrix Minds, my friends. Smash that subscribe button right above you on our page. Every donation, every subscription helps us continue to build content, helps us create content. Indeed, it helps us keep going. So if you've got it in your hearts, you'll enjoy the broadcast tonight. Nothing that I can do about the little circle spinning time and time again. I don't know what to say other than I'm going to continue to speak whether they like it or not. And I know you guys are going to do the same thing. I know that you're going to do the same thing. So anyway, goodbye, Felicia. You guys have enjoyed your weekend. Indeed, it is right around the corner, no doubt. We're saying goodnight to you at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. You're on the Matrix Minds. We are the ones that question everything, my friends, even the fabric of reality. You guys take care of yourselves and take care of one another. If you see anything, we got an inbox up there. Don't hesitate to drop it in the inbox. Okay? Talk to you next week. 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock West Coast. Coming at your ass time. Love you guys. Take care. Yeah. Let's do this. Minds. One of the most controversial. Hold up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology.
Take the blues music, story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever. All I'm offering is the truth. Sing Day in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Sing Day in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
Hey everybody, Austin here with Colorado Custom Game Calls. Are you looking for a game call for your upcoming season? Are you looking for something unique? Waterfowl hunting, big game hunting, predator, or turkey, we got you covered. So be sure to hit us up on our Facebook and Instagram or on the web at ColoradoCustomGameCalls.com.
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV, and I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid. Extract CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. MatrixMinds.live/CBD. The CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive again. And now back to the show.